He painted Salford smoky tops on cardboard boxes from the shops and parts of Ancoats where I used to play. I'm sure he once walked down our street 'cause he painted kids who had out on the feet. The clothes they wore had all seen better days. Now they said his works of art were dull, no room or rather walls are full, but Lowry didn't care much anyway. They said he just paints cats and dogs and matched up men in boots and clogs, and Lowry said that's just the way they'll stay. And he painted matched up men and matched up cats and dogs. He painted kids on the corner of the street that were sparking clogs. Now he takes his brush and he waits outside them factory gates to paint his matched up men and matched up cats and dogs. Now canvas and brushes were wearing thin when London started calling him to come on down and wear the old flat cap. They said, tell us all about your ways and all about them Salford days. Is it true you're just an ordinary chap? And he painted matched up men and matched up cats and dogs. He painted kids on the corner of the street that were sparking clogs. Now he takes his brush and he waits outside them factory gates to paint his matched up men and matched up cats and dogs. Now Lowry's hung upon the wall beside the greatest of them all, and even the Mona Lisa takes a bow. This tired old man with hair like snow told northern folk it's time to go. The fever came and the good Lord mopped his brow. And he left us matched up men and matched up cats and dogs. He left us kids on the corner of the street that was sparking clogs. Now he takes his brush and he waits outside them pearly gates to paint his matched up men and matched up cats and dogs. And he left us matched up men and matched up cats and dogs. He left us kids on the corner of the street that was sparking clogs. Now he takes his brush and he waits outside them pearly gates to paint his matched up men and matched up cats and dogs. And he left us matched up men and matched up cats and dogs. He left us kids on the corner of the street that was sparking clogs. Now he takes his brush and he waits outside them pearly gates to paint his matched up men and matched up cats and dogs. And he left us matched up men and matched up cats and dogs. He left us kids on the corner of the street that was sparking clogs. Now he takes his brush and he waits outside them pearly gates to paint his
The Indians send signals from the rocks above the pass. The cowboys take position in the bushes and the grass. The score is with the corporal, she is tied against a tree. She doesn't mind the language, it's the beating she don't need. She lets loose all the horses when the corporal is asleep, and he wakes to find the fire's dead and arrows in his hats. And Davy Crockett rides around and says it's Kool Kats, it's Kool Kats. The Sweeney's doing 90 cause they've got the word to go. They get a gang of villains in a shed up at Heathrow. They're counting out the fivers when the handcuffs lock again. In and out of Wandsworth with the numbers on their names. It's funny how the missus always looks a bleeding sane. And meanwhile at the station there's a couple of likely lads who swear like how's your father, and they're very cool for cats, they're cool for cats. To change the mood a little, I've been posing down the pub. I'm seeing my reflection, I'm looking slightly rough. I fancy this, I fancy that, I wanna be so flash. I'll give a little muscle and I'll spend a little cash. But all I get is bitter and a nasty little rash. And by the time I'm sober I've forgotten what I've had. And everybody tells me that it's cool to be a cat, cool for cats. The disco when I think I've got a pull. I ask her lots of questions as she hangs onto the wall. I kiss her for the first time and then I take her home. I'm invited in for coffee and I give the dog a bone. She likes to go to discos but she's never on her own. I said I'll see you later and I'll give her some old chat. But it's not like they on the TV. When it's cool for cats, it's cool for cats.
She haunted many a low resort near the grimy road of Tottenham Court. She flitted about the no man's land, from the rising sun to the friend at hand. And the postman sighed as he scratched his head. You'd really have thought she ought to be dead. And who would ever suppose that was Grisabella, the glamour cat. And who would have ever supposed that was Grisabella, the glamour cat. Oh, Grisabella, oh, glamour cat.
The greatest magicians have something to learn from Mr. Mistopheles' conjuring turn. And we all say, cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. Oh, well, and never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. He is quiet, he is small, he is black, from his ears to the tip of his tail. He can creep through the tiniest crack. He can walk on the narrowest rail. He can pick any card from a pack. He is equally cunning with dice. He is always deceiving you into believing that he's only hunting for mice. He can play any trick with a cork or a spoon and a bit of fish paste. If you look for a knife or a fork and you think it is merely misplaced, you have seen it one moment and then it is gone. You'll find it next week lying out on the lawn. And we all say, oh, well, and never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. Oh, well, and never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. His manner is vague and aloof. You would think there was nobody shyer, but his voice has been heard on the roof when he was curled up by the fire, and he's sometimes been heard by the fire when he was about on the roof. At least we all heard that somebody purred, which is incontestable proof of his singular magical power. And I've known the family to call him in from the garden for hours when he was asleep in the hall. And not long ago, this phenomenal cat produced 7 kittens right out of a hat. And we all said, oh, well, and never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. Oh, well, and never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. Oh, well, and never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. Oh, well, and never was there ever a cat so... Old Deuteronomy's lived a long time. He's a cat who has lived many lives in succession. He was famous in proverb and famous in rhyme, a long while before Queen Victoria's accession. Old Deuteronomy's married 9 wives, and more I am tempted to say 99, and his numerous progeny prosper and thrive, and the village is proud of him in his decline. At the sight of that placid and bland physiognomy, when he sits in the sun on the vicarage wall, the oldest inhabitant croaks, well, of all things, can it be real? Yes, no, Ohio, my eye. My mind may be wandering, but I confess I believe it is old Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy sits in the street, he sits in the high street on market day. The bullocks may bellow, the sheep they may bleat, but the dogs and the herdsmen will turn them away. The cars and the lorries run over the curb, and the villagers put up a notice, road closed, so that nothing untoward may chance to disturb Deuteronomy's rest when he feels so disposed. The digestive repose of that feline's gastronomy must never be broken, whatever befall. And the oldest inhabitant croaks, well, of all things, can it be really? Yes, no, Ohio, my eye. My mind may be wandering, but I confess I believe it is all Deuteronomy. Yes, no, Ohio, my eye. My legs may be tottery, I must go slow.